Let me quickly talk to you about the top 10 largest business loans with soft pull. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sir Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you had to ask me, if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to share with you the top 10 largest business loans with soft pull. Number 10, we have Square Capital. Our score, 7.5 over 10. So with Square Capital, soft pull is okay. And the cool thing is that this is kind of cool if you do business with Square Capital. In other words, if you use Square POS, point of sale, okay, to sell, this is kind of good. You can qualify for financing from $300 to $250,000, okay? And what we love with the Square Capital is that the financing happens automatically. So you don't need a credit score. You don't need anything at all. They look at your cash flows. They look at your sales. They look at your history with them, okay? And the good thing is if you have a minimum history of 3 months or 6 months, they will approve you. And in terms of what are the pros and cons of this financing program, you have good borrowing rates. We have relaxed borrower requirements. Remember, there's no FICO needed. And this is fast and convenient, and no collateral required for loans under $75,000. Now, in some cases, they might ask you for some collateral if you're asking for $250,000, for example, but it's only done on a case-by-case basis. And the cons here, the drawbacks, this kind of financing is only available to Square sellers, and merchants cannot apply for sellers. They can only receive them, okay? So this is one thing you need to understand. Number 9, we have Shopify Capital. Our score, 8 over 10. This is kind of similar to a Square Capital. So here you have a soft pull also available for this loan. And through Shopify Capital, eligible businesses that sell using Shopify e-commerce and or Shopify point of sale can take out a cash advance or loan ranging anywhere from $200 to $2 million, depending on your sales volume and your business's risk profile. There is no credit check or requirements as to revenue or time in business. So Shopify will basically pay attention to your liquidity situation. That's all. Okay. And in terms of loan structure, a Shopify Capital loan is repaid as a percentage of your daily sales within 12 months. So you have 12 months to repay the sum in total, but they take the amount every single day as you make sales. Okay. And what are the pros and cons here? Pros: high borrowing amounts, competitive rates, relaxed borrower requirements, no repayment deadline for cash advances. And the cons, this is only available to Shopify sellers in certain states, and there's no way to apply. Shopify will reach out to qualified candidates. Number 8, folks, we have PayPal Working Capital. Our score, 8 over 10. With this loan, soft pull is okay. And when we talk about PayPal Working Capital, we have a process that is similar to Shopify and Square. In other words, you got to be in PayPal's ecosystem to qualify. They don't require a credit check or credit history to qualify, okay? They look at your PayPal sales history. They look at your liquidity, money coming in, money going out. So you need to have a PayPal Premier or business account, okay, for at least 90 days before you can apply. And eligibility largely depends on the number of PayPal sales and transactions you bring in, not on your credit score. And you need annual PayPal sales of at least $15,000 for the PayPal business, or $20,000 if you have a PayPal Premier account to qualify. Okay, and what we love is that it's very, very fast. It's very streamlined. No credit, no hard pull needed. All right. What are the pros and cons here? You have a simple application process. You have relaxed borrower requirements. Again, when we talk about soft pull, sometimes there's not even a check. There's no soft check. There's no hard check. There's nothing. You have approved loans funded in minutes. No personal guarantee. Fantastic. And the drawback here is you got to be a PayPal seller, and the borrowing rate can be high. Number 7, folks, we have here Credibly. Our score, 8.5 over 10. With Credibly, you can have soft pull, not a problem. And we are talking about a maximum loan size of $250,000. And the term length, 18 or 24 months. The interest rate starts at 10%. And they want you to pay on a weekly basis. All right. So it's really important when you think about credibly, you have to think about a simple application, speedy approval. They will actually evaluate your business's health and reach out to you with the best available funding options within 24 hours, and you have hassle-free funding. Okay, so if approved, you'll receive funds in your account as soon as the same day, and you can access you have access to your online account and automatic repayment process as soon as possible. So, what are the qualifying criteria? First of all, your credit score is important, your time in business, your cash flow and other operating expenses, and your stake in the business. Okay, and they want you to have at least 560. 6 months in time in business. They will look at your cash flows and other, so your cash inflows and cash outflows, and your stake in the business. So, do you have 20%? Do you have 30%? Do you have 60%? In terms of required documentation, they want to have bank statements and other financial statements, government issued identification documents, and your business plan. You got to have a business plan. Very, very important. Number 6, folks, we have here Funding Circle. Our score 8.5 over 10. With Funding Circle, you have a soft pull, not a problem, okay? And we love the fact that you can actually borrow anywhere from $25,000 to $500,000, and you have low monthly payments, no prepayment penalties, and you are basically getting funded within 3 business days. And term lengths go from 6 months to 5 years. This is fantastic. And we love the fact that with the Funding Circle, you basically have a business line of credit that you can actually structure as a business loan. Okay, so you have business term loans, you have business line of credit, and depending on the financing program you need, they will work with you. And one thing I want to say is to apply, you have a very simple application process. It takes 3 steps. So you see if you qualify and apply in minutes. So this is a soft pull that I was talking to you about. And so your dedicated account manager will get in touch. So once you have uploaded your documents, your financial statements, your bank statements, they'll reach out to you. And if everything checks, they will basically get you the funds. Okay, they'll send the money to your account. All right. And we'll love the fact that you have a flexibility here because you can actually take the money to do a lot of things. They have no restriction whatsoever on the funds. You can use the money to offset costs during the busy season, purchase more inventory, cover your business's payroll, or finance new growth and expansion. You can do that. This is just fantastic. Just tell them a little bit about yourself, about your business, your goals, and they'll work with you. So number 6, Funding Circle, 8.5 over 10. Number 5, folks, we have Blue Vine, 9 over 10. Obviously, we are speaking here about business loans with soft pull, and Blue Vine specializes in business lines of credit. However, you can talk to them. They can actually structure the funding program as a loan, or at least as a working capital loan for you. But you got to ask them. You got to talk to a rep about this, okay? Obviously, they have a soft pull, not a problem. You can grow your business with their funding program, and they have credit lines that go up to $250,000. Rates are as low as 4.8%, and you can get a decision in as fast as 5 minutes, okay? And so Blue Vine, what we love with Blue Vine is that as a business line of credit that can be structured as a business loan, you have funds available on demand. You only pay for what you use, and you have access to a revolving line if you want to stay with the line of credit. And you basically have the kind of financing that you need if you want to scale your business. And you only need to have 600 minimum in FICO, 6 months in business, $10,000 in monthly revenue. That's gross revenue, okay? Gross revenue, pre-tax revenue. And your business must be operating in the United States. This is very important. And they want you to connect to your bank account or show them your bank statements. And they just need a few details about your business, and that's it. Number 4, folks, we have here SmartBiz. Our score 9 over 10. With SmartBiz, soft pull is okay, and so we're talking about interest rates that go all the way down to 7%. You have bank term loan amounts from $30,000 to $500,000. This is really good. And the repayment terms 2 to 5 years. Okay, so this is really good. With SmartBiz, you basically you have a fixed interest rate that goes from 7% to 25%. And we'll love the fact that you can use their funding programs for nearly anything. They have no restriction. You can use the cash for working capital, debt refinance, new equipment purchase, and more. Okay, you would just have to explain the loan proceeds, the use of loan proceeds to your rep. And one thing I want to say here is that you basically the application process with SmartBiz is very simple. So everything happens online. You have to put in your information, your company's name, your revenue. Your revenue is really important. They want to see your cash inflows and cash outflows, have a better understanding of that. In some cases, they might ask you to actually attach your business plan, your business tax returns, so your 1065 or 1120S or 1120C to the application process, and basically somebody will get back to you. But it's pretty interesting. 30,000 to $500,000, that's the loan range. Number 3, folks, we have here Mulligan Funding. Our score 9.5 over 10. With Mulligan Funding, you have a soft pull, okay? And what we love with Mulligan Funding is that they have a constellation of business loans. So Mulligan Funding actually does the working capital loans. They have business term loans. They have SBA bridge loans. So this is really good. And the amount is pretty generous. We're talking about a loan amount that goes all the way to $2 million. Think about that, $2 million. This is just fantastic. Okay. And so why do you want to fund through Mulligan Funding? Well, you have fast approval in as soon as a few hours. You have average lending of 6% to 12% of your current revenue. Funding as soon as the business day after approval. Terms from 6 to 36 months. Those are really great. Okay. And they want you to actually, in terms of the requirements for annual revenue. So for the working capital loan, at least $120,000 in business revenue. So that's $10K a month pre-tax revenue. For the business term loan, they want you to have at least $350,000 in business revenue. Okay. And for the time in business, for the working capital loan, at least 9 months. For the business term loan, at least 2 years. Okay. And one thing you need to understand is that for your financial history, they don't want to have, so they have no more than one daily debit loan and free from open bankruptcies. So those are their requirements. One thing I want to say here is that overall, Mulligan Funding is a great player. They do give you the diversity that you need. They give you the variety you need to move forward with your funding prospects, and they will constantly accompany you. And they are a national provider of business funding in all 50 states, plus Washington, D.C. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Studio Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation about the top 10 largest business loans with soft pull. And number 2, we have a Fundbox. Our score 9.5 over 10. So Fundbox, of course, you have a soft pull. Okay, you can actually access this funding program through a soft pull, not a problem. But you got to be based in the U.S. You got to have a personal FICO score of 600. That's minimum. Annual revenue $100,000. Business checking accounts. And ideally 6 months in business. Okay, so this is really good. And when we think about Fundbox, they are one of our favorite alternative lenders. Okay, and they basically will give you invoice financing. They'll give you business loans, and they'll give you in some cases business lines of credit. And so you are looking at $1,000 to $100,000. Okay, with the Fundbox, you do have a lines of credit that you can structure as a business loan. You just need to ask for it. When you talk to the lender, make sure that you are making a proposal. If you have the right condition, the right terms, ask them to transform the business line of credit into a business loan. Sometimes they do this, sometimes they don't. Depending on the states where you're applying from, or depending on your company, they could give you a working capital loan, for example. Okay, and what we love with Fundbox is that you have no application fee, no origination fee, no prepayment penalty. This is really good. You can apply in 2 easy steps. So you just tell them about your company. You tell them and you share basic information about your business. Then you have to connect your accounting software and business checking account so they can see the liquidity around your company, and they will actually approve you real fast. And that's it. Number 1, folks. When it comes to the top 10 largest business loans with soft pull, we have Lendio. Our score 10 over 10. Perfect score here. And with Lendio, soft pull is okay. And so Lendio is a marketplace, not a direct lender. So they have 75 to 90, in some cases 100 lenders that compete for your business. Okay. And so when we talk about loan amounts, we are speaking about $2,500 to $500,000. The loan term 1 to 3 years, and they will fund you as soon as 24 hours, and the interest rate can be as low as 8%. So this is really, really good. Okay. So again, think about you have an army of lenders that are competing for your business. This is really good. So they offer short-term loan, but they also offer line of credits. So this is I'm just giving you the flexibility here in case you don't get approved for the term loan. You can actually apply for the line of credit. And financing is really fast. You just need to put in your information, and things happen very fast with Lendio. So perfect score 10 over 10. Let me give you an overview here, folks. Obviously, we are talking about a business loan with soft pull, right? And I just want to talk to you how I want to explain to you how to get a business loan with soft pull. Now, first of all, you got to really avoid your traditional bank or your credit union. When we talk about business loans with soft pull, we are basically talking about online lenders, marketplace lenders, and alternative lenders. If you've seen the list that we shared with you today, those are not traditional financial institutions. We have no traditional bank. We have no credit union. We have no Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America. No, we don't have that. We have names that you probably have never heard of. So those are alternative lenders. Those are online lenders, okay? And you need to decide what type of loan you need to fund your business, even before thinking about whether you want to go hard pull or soft pull. This is very important. Are you looking for a term loan? Are you looking for a line of credit? Are you looking for a working capital loan? Are you looking for equipment financing, invoice financing, whatever it is? You got to determine that, okay? And you also want to determine if you qualify for a business loan. What is your credit score? Okay, how long have you been in business? Let's talk about that. Money, money, money. Money, money, money. How long has your business been generating revenue? Okay, do you make enough money to qualify for the loan? So those are questions I want you to think about as you consider applying for a business loan with or without a soft pull. Okay, you want to determine what payments you can afford. It's really important because those payments will actually eat into your liquidity strategy. So you better they might be disruptive to your liquidity strategy. So you want to have a clear idea of where the cash is coming from and where the cash is going. Okay, you need to decide whether and how you want to collateralize the loan. If in case you have a collateralized loan, if you have a secure loan, the loans that I gave you in today's conversation are all unsecured, no collateral needed. But if you have to collateralize the loan, you need to be ready to identify which assets you want to pledge. And you want to compare it to small business lenders, okay? It's really important that when you think about the online lenders and alternative lenders, you want to look for things like collateral, things like revenue, how fast they found you, what is the time in business, the minimum time in business. So you really want to do a compare and contrast before actually choosing the right one for you. This is really important. That way you are saving money. You will save money down the road. And you need to think about whether or not it makes sense to go for these alternative lenders and online lenders instead of going to your traditional banks or bank or credit union. Okay, so let me give you an example where you might want to get a business loan from banks. Let's say you have been in business for at least 2 years. You have excellent credit. You don't need cash fast. Well, if this trifecta applies to you, then it just might make sense for you to apply for a loan at TD Bank or Wells Fargo or Bank of America or Citibank, right? Let me ask you a question. Big decision time. Have you thought about micro lenders? I mean, how much are you looking for? Are you looking for 25,000, 30,000, 100,000, 200,000? The reason is that with micro lenders, you could qualify for a loan amount that goes all the way to $50,000. Okay, you might think about this alternative route if you have bad credit or no credit history, if you are a new business, or you can't get a traditional loan. So you have a program such as Acción, you have Kiva, for example. Okay, those are programs that allow you to get business funding, but the amount is not that high. But again, it depends on what you need. So this is really important. And one thing I also want to say here is that you also want to make sure that you basically gather your documents. It's very important. You need to actually think about your business and personal tax returns, your business and personal bank statements, your business financial statements. And by financial statements, I'm talking about the four. Don't just send the three statements. You need to add the statement of owner's equity. This is really important because usually when people talk about business financial statements, they mention your income statements, your balance sheet, and your statement of cash flows. But there is a fourth one. And that fourth one, the statement of owner's equity, is as important to the lender as the other three because it talks about whether or not, first of all, how much money owners have put into the business, the cash infusion coming from owners, the equity. And they also talk about whether or not the founders are reinvesting money into the company or actually cashing out big time. And you also need to add a business plan if you have them, your business legal documents. I'm talking about articles of incorporation, commercial lease, franchise agreement, and so on and so forth. Okay, and a business plan if you have it. So the bottom line here is that you want to be very clear. And once you have all of these things, you can apply for a business loan with no problem. And if you are, and you want to go for those business loans that actually do a soft pull, that way you are basically covering you're basically covering your butt, and you are not risking a hard pull, a reduction of 10 points every time you apply for a business loan. Before I close today's conversation, please check out this loan evaluation approach video. We do have a strict method on this show when it comes to evaluating, categorizing, and listing business loans with soft pull. All right, folks, here's the recap. The top 10 largest business loans with soft pull: number 1, Lendio, 10/10. Number 2, we have Fundbox, 9.5/10. Number 3, we have Mulligan Funding. We have 9.5/10. Number 4, we have SmartBiz, 9/10. Number 5, we have Bluevine, 9/10. Number 6, we have Funding Circle, 8.5/10. Number 7, we have Credibly, 8.5/10. Number 8, we have PayPal Working Capital, 8/10. Number 9, we have Shopify Capital, 8/10. And number 10, last but not the least, we have a Square Capital, 7.5/10. Thank you so much for your attention, folks. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.